I think we should end this, Ethan. Her voice was flat, like she was reading a memo. I stared at her across the long dining table. What did you just say? I asked, my throat tight. You heard me, Arya said, sliding a folder toward me. It's better for both of us. Better for both of us? I repeated. Arya, where is this even coming from? She didn't look up. Please don't make this harder. I'm your husband, I said. How am I supposed to react when you drop divorce papers in front of me without a warning? She finally lifted her eyes, cold and sharp. We've grown apart. We barely talk because you're always working, I said. But divorce? Just like that. Work isn't the issue, she replied. This marriage doesn't fit my life anymore. Doesn't fit your life? I laughed, but it sounded broken. I'm not a piece of clothing you toss when you're done. Ethan, stop, she said. You're being dramatic. Dramatic? My chest felt tight. You're asking me to sign away 3 years like they meant nothing. They did mean something. Her voice softened for half a second before turning cold again. But they aren't enough now. Why not? I asked. Tell me the real reason. She closed the folder. I don't want to discuss this. I do, I insisted. I deserve at least that. Ethan. She exhaled, annoyed. I can't keep slowing down for you. My hands curled into fists. Slowing down? I've supported you through everything. Every late night, every crisis. And I appreciated it, she cut in. But appreciation isn't the same as love. The words hit like a punch. So you don't love me? She hesitated, and that hesitation hurt even more. Not in the way I should. I sat back, feeling the room tilt. Is there someone else? No, she said too quickly. Arya. No, she repeated, firmer. This has nothing to do with anyone else. But everything to do with me, right? I whispered. Because I'm not enough for you. She looked away. Ethan, please sign the papers. I have a meeting soon. You're divorcing me and you're worried about a meeting? This is exactly why, she snapped. You always take things personally. Because this is personal. I shouted, then caught myself. Arya, look at me. Please. I don't want a scene, she said. I just want closure. I stared at her, feeling something crack deep inside me. If you wanted closure, you could have talked to me. Not ambushed me with documents. Silence stretched between us until she finally stood. Think it over. I'll come back for the papers. Is that all I am now? I asked. A signature you need? She paused at the door but didn't turn around. Goodbye, Ethan. When the door closed, the whole room felt colder. I picked up the papers with shaking hands, my heart twisting. I didn't cry. I didn't shout. I just sat there, feeling like something inside me had finally broken. I could hear her heels fading down the hall, each step cutting deeper into me. I whispered to myself, trying to breathe, but the room felt small to hold my pain. That I stood outside Arya's office, trying to steady my breathing as I knocked. Arya, can we talk? I asked, hoping she would at least look at me. She didn't. She walked past me like I was a mistake she wanted to erase. Not now, she said sharply. You're causing a scene. A scene? I whispered, stepping after her. I just want to understand why you're acting like this. She didn't answer. She pushed open her office door instead, and that's when I saw him, Daniel. Tall, sharp suit, perfect smile. The kind of man who always looked like he knew more than everyone else. He glanced at me, and that smirk on his face made my stomach twist. So this is your husband? He asked Arya, voice smooth like he practiced it in a mirror. Arya sighed. Daniel, this isn't. I'm just asking, he said, still staring at me. He looks surprised. Did he not know you were busy? I'm not interrupting, I said, even though it was clear I was unwelcome. I only came to talk. Daniel chuckled. She's a CEO. Her time is valuable. My jaw tightened. I know exactly how hard she works. Arya stepped between us, her expression cold. Ethan, go home. We'll talk later. That's what you said yesterday, I shot back. And the day before. Daniel leaned against her desk. Maybe she doesn't owe you an explanation. Daniel, Arya warned, but the damage was done. I felt heat rising in my chest. Why are you defending him? What is going on here? Arya's eyes narrowed. Don't start. Daniel has done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong? I laughed bitterly. You're acting like I'm the outsider here. Daniel raised a brow. Aren't you? I stepped forward. Do you have a problem with me? He smirked again. Not at all. I just respect boundaries. Boundaries? I repeated. Funny, Since you're the one standing in my wife's office giving me attitude. Arya's voice snapped like ice. Enough. Ethan, you're making this worse. I'm trying to save our marriage, I said. Why can't you see that? She looked away and that hurt more than her words. Please leave. Daniel whispered, maybe he should listen. That was it. That was the moment something inside me cracked. I stared at Arya, waiting for her to defend me the way she defended him. But she didn't. She just stood there, silent, like I no longer mattered. I get it, I said quietly. I really do. I turned and walked out before my voice broke. The halls felt colder than usual. Every step felt heavier, like the truth was pressing down on my shoulders. I didn't know if she was cheating. I didn't know if I was imagining things. But the doubt hit me like a storm, fierce and blinding. By the time I reached the exit, my chest felt hollow. It was like the whole world had turned its back on me, and I didn't know how much more I could take that day. I stepped out of the elevator and muttered, great, of all days to forget a folder. The whole floor was dark except for the light under Arya's office door. She's still here? I whispered, rubbing my forehead. As I walked closer, I heard voices, hers and a man's. Daniel's. They were low but not low enough to hide the laughter. Arya, you're really impossible, Daniel said, chuckling. Stop exaggerating, Arya replied, her tone softer than I'd ever heard it with me. You're the one who messed up the proposal. And you saved me again, he said. I owe you dinner for that. I froze outside the glass wall. Dinner? I whispered. My hand hovered over the door handle, shaking. Arya laughed, an actual laugh, light and warm. I hadn't heard that sound in months. You can't bribe me with food, she said. Then what works on you? Daniel asked, stepping closer. Because I'm willing to try harder. My chest tightened so violently I had to lean on the doorframe. What the hell? I breathed. I pushed the door open without thinking. Arya? Both of them turned. Daniel looked amused. Arya's expression turned to ice. Ethan? What are you doing here? I forgot a folder, I said, trying to steady my voice. But clearly I walked into something else. Daniel smirked. You scared us. Thought the cleaning crew came early. I'm not in the mood for jokes, I snapped. Arya crossed her arms. You shouldn't be here this late. I work here too, I said. And I didn't know I needed permission to enter my wife's office. Daniel raised a brow. Wife or not, this is a work discussion. You're interrupting. Really? I said. Looked a lot friendlier than a work discussion. Arya stepped closer to him. Ethan, don't start with your assumptions again. I'm not assuming anything, I said. I heard the way you were talking. I saw how close you were standing. Daniel chuckled. We were laughing about a mistake I made. Relax. Don't tell me to relax, I said, my voice shaking. I walk in and see you two acting. I don't even know what to call it. Arya's glare deepened. You're overreacting. Am I? I asked. Because this looks like something you don't want me to see. She moved toward me, eyes sharp. You're being ridiculous. Then explain it, I said. Explain why you're laughing with him like that. Explain why you look at him with warmth you haven't shown me in months. Silence. Daniel watched with a smug tilt of his head. Maybe you should go home, Ethan? My fists tightened. Why do you care? Arya cut in, voice cold. Because you're creating drama. Again. I saw enough, I whispered. Whatever this is, it's clear I'm not part of it. Before she could answer, I stepped back, heart pounding. Her cold stare followed me out of the room like a blade. As I walked down the hallway, I whispered to myself, I wasn't meant to see that, was I? Everything inside me felt numb. My hope, my trust, gone. Arya, we need to talk, I said the moment she walked into our penthouse. My voice shook, but I kept going. Last night, what I saw. She dropped her bag on the counter. Ethan, not this again. Yes, this again, I said. You and Daniel. She cut me off with a scoff. You're paranoid. I'm not, I said. You were laughing with him. You haven't laughed with me in months. That doesn't mean anything, she said. Stop twisting everything. I'm not twisting anything, I said. I just want the truth. Are you? No, she snapped. But your insecurity is exhausting. My stomach twisted. Insecurity? Arya, I'm reacting to what you've been doing. You're holding me back, she said sharply. I can't keep slowing down to deal with your feelings. Her words hit like a blade sliding into my ribs. Holding you back? I whispered. Is that really how you see me? I don't have time for this, she said, walking past me. I have meetings in the morning. Arya, don't walk away. She stopped, sighed, and looked at me like I was a problem to fix. You're too emotional. I need stability, not someone who falls apart every time I talk to a coworker. I didn't fall apart, I said. I was hurt. There's a difference. She shook her head. Enough, Ethan. I'm tired. She disappeared into the bedroom and the door slammed shut. I stood there staring at the wood, feeling the last piece of me snap. I grabbed my jacket and walked out. Liam opened his apartment door, saw my face, and pulled me inside. Jesus, man, what happened? I sat on his couch, covering my face with my hands. She said I'm paranoid, insecure, and that I'm holding her back. Liam let out a low whistle. Damn. She really said that? Like I was nothing, I whispered. Like I'm some chain around her ankle. He leaned forward. Ethan, listen to me. You're not crazy. I've watched her push you away for months. I thought I was imagining it, I said. I kept telling myself she was just stressed. She wasn't stressed, Liam said. She was cold. Different. And the way she's been acting with that Daniel guy? No normal partner would ignore your feelings like that. I looked at him, desperate. So it's not all in my head? Not even close, he said. You deserve better than someone who treats your pain like an inconvenience. I swallowed hard. I loved her, man. I still do. But it feels like she stopped loving me a long time ago. Liam nodded slowly. Then maybe it's time to love yourself more than you love the idea of her. His words hit deep, cutting through the fog I'd been drowning in. Ethan, he added softly, you're allowed to walk away from what hurts you. Something inside me shifted. A slow, heavy click like a lock opening. For the first time, anger flickered through the cracks of my heartbreak. I said quietly, I need to protect myself. I signed the papers in silence, the pen gliding with a finality that made my fingers numb. Arya watched me like she expected a breakdown. You're actually going through with this? She asked. I didn't look up. It's already done. She leaned forward. So no fight? No speech about love? I pushed the papers toward her. You're free. Her mouth parted slightly, confused instead of relieved. That's all? I stood. There's nothing left to hold on to. She scoffed. You're being dramatic. I shook my head. The hallway felt colder than usual, the fluorescent lights humming above me like they were mocking the silence I carried. I muttered to myself, just keep walking. My chest hurt, but the pain felt muted, like my emotions were wrapped in cotton. I reached the elevator when I heard someone whisper my name. Wait, please. I turned and saw Maya hurrying toward me, clutching a slim file with trembling hands. Her voice wavered. I need to give you this. I frowned. What is it? She glanced nervously toward Arya's office. I can't say here. But you deserve to know what's been happening. My stomach tightened. Maya, is this about Daniel? She chewed her lip, then nodded. It's connected to him. And to her. I couldn't stay quiet anymore. She extended the file like it weighed 100 pounds. Take it. I accepted it slowly. Why risk your job for me? Her expression softened. Because you always treated me like a human being. And because I've seen how this has torn you apart. I swallowed hard. Thank you. She whispered, be careful, then stepped away, disappearing down the hall before anyone could see. I stepped into the elevator, clutching the file. The doors closed with a dull thud that echoed inside my ribs. You're free, I repeated under my breath. But freedom felt strange, too light and too heavy at once. I tried to steady my breathing. One step at a time, I told myself. The building hummed around me, the metal walls reflecting a version of me I barely recognized. Tired, hurt, but finally refusing to burn for someone else's comfort. I let out a shaky breath, realizing how long it had been since. I told myself I wouldn't look back again, no matter how loudly the past tried pulling at my shoulders, and I meant every fragile word of it. When the elevator doors opened, cool lobby air washed over me. For the first time in months, I inhaled without feeling like my chest would collapse. I walked toward the glass doors, the file pressing firmly against my palm like a reminder that the truth waited for me outside. As I stepped into the sunlight, the morning warmth brushed my face and something inside me shifted. Not healing, not hope, but a beginning. I whispered, this time I protect myself. Then I kept walking, leaving behind the ashes of everything I used to beg for. I opened the file Maya gave me and froze. Pages after pages of spreadsheets, reports, and emails. Every document had her signature. Arya, I whispered, my hands trembling. The numbers were wrong, massive errors. And she had covered for Daniel. My chest tightened. Why would she risk everything for him? I flipped through a few emails. One from Daniel, "Thanks for covering. You're a lifesaver." And her reply, "I can't let anyone else know. I'll fix it." I felt like my heart was twisting. "She's not heartless, she's terrified," I muttered. I called Liam. "You're not going to believe this," I said as soon as he picked up. "What now?" he asked. "She covered for Daniel. Big financial errors. The company could collapse." "Holy shit," Liam breathed. "Are you sure?" "Yes," I said. "It's all here. She signed everything herself." "I don't get it." "She's protecting him." "Ethan, this explains a lot," Liam said. "I've been watching her slip under pressure for weeks. You just didn't have proof." "I feel sick," I admitted. "I don't know if I should be angry at Daniel, at her, or at myself for loving someone who lies to protect a snake." Liam laughed bitterly. "Welcome to reality, man. You've been in love with a ghost of her, not the real Arya." I looked out my window, thinking about the company's board meeting earlier. Rumors were already spreading. "People are starting to talk," I said. The financial team whispered about discrepancies. "The press might catch on soon. And Daniel? He's nowhere to be found." "Figures," Liam said. "He always runs when trouble shows up. And she's left holding the bag." "I don't know what to do," I admitted. "Part of me wants to protect her, even though I shouldn't. She put the company and herself at risk." "Then that part of you is still the man she loved," Liam said softly. "But protecting her doesn't mean getting dragged into her mess. Watch. Observe. Let karma sort itself out." I rubbed my face. "It's hard. She's unraveling, but I can't stop thinking about the woman I married, the one who laughed with me, trusted me. Even if she made mistakes, I can't just feel nothing." "Then don't," Liam said. "Feel but don't jump in. Not yet. Let her fight her own battles." I closed the file slowly. Every signature, every note, every alteration screamed one thing. She had been lying, not out of malice but fear. Fear of losing control. Fear of making mistakes. And maybe, deep down, fear of me. "I have to watch," I said quietly. "I have to see this through, without her knowing I know everything." Liam's voice softened. "You've got this, Ethan. But remember, part of surviving is stepping back when the fire gets too hot." I stared at the city lights outside my window. Arya's perfect world was cracking and Daniel was gone. And for the first time in months, I wasn't the only one watching it burn. I watched the news from my apartment, the glow of the screen reflecting off my hands. Arya's face appeared, pale and tense. "The board has decided to hold her accountable for Daniel's mistakes," the anchor said. My chest tightened. I muttered, "This can't be happening, not to her." The phone buzzed. It was Elena. "Ethan, are you seeing this?" Her voice was urgent but calm. "I'm watching," I said. "I can't believe it. Daniel's nowhere. And Arya, she looks destroyed." "I know," Elena said. "I need your help. She's being blamed for everything. I can't fix it alone. Will you?" I hesitated. "Elena, I don't know if I should." She pushed me away. I walked out. "She's not herself," Elena said, voice cracking slightly. "This isn't the woman you married. Daniel manipulated her, used her. She doesn't deserve this alone." I ran a hand through my hair. "You want me to help her? After everything?" "I do," Elena said firmly. "You saw how she is when she's under pressure. You know she wouldn't have done this on purpose." I sighed, looking at Arya's pale face on the screen. Part of me still cares. Even though I shouldn't. "You still care because she's human," Elena said. "And you're human too." I rubbed my eyes. "She looks fragile, like she could break at any second. And yet, she still has that command in her eyes. She's trying to hold it together for the company, even though Daniel's gone." "Exactly," Elena said. "You can help her without getting trapped in the past. Just be there, Ethan. Be the calm she needs." I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. I don't know if I can do this without feeling angry. Or hurt. Or betrayed all over again. "You can," Elena said. "Because this time it's different. She's alone and she needs someone who sees the truth. You know it's not all her fault." I shook my head. "I can't just step in. I can't erase the past." "You're not erasing it," Elena said softly. "You're helping her face reality. Let her mistakes fall into place. Let Daniel's actions come to light. Then, decide what's next." I swallowed. "She's in trouble, Elena. Real trouble. And Daniel, he disappeared. She's taking the full fall. And I don't know if I can watch her suffer and not step in." "You can," Elena said. But carefully. Watch. Support. Don't lose yourself. I stared at the screen again. Arya's hands trembled slightly as she signed a document. Her composure was cracking, and for the first time, the world I thought she controlled seemed to crumble. Daniel was gone. Arya was alone. And part of me, no matter how much I told myself to walk away, ached to protect her. I whispered, I can't fix this, but maybe I can make sure she doesn't fall completely. And for the first time in months, I felt that spark, anger, worry, and care, all mixing into one driving thought. I wasn't ready to let her world burn entirely. The knock on my apartment door startled me. Ethan, it's me, Arya's voice said softly. I froze. I opened the door slowly. She looked exhausted, hair slightly messy, eyes red-rimmed. Arya, what are you doing here? I asked, my voice tight. She swallowed. I needed to see you. Please. After everything? I said, my chest tightening. After the divorce papers, after. Daniel? I didn't want it to come to this, she said, voice trembling. I didn't mean to hurt you. I stepped back, letting her in. Then why? I asked quietly. Why push me away? Why lie? Why let him? I was scared, she finally shouted, collapsing onto my couch. Scared I'd lose everything, scared I'd fail. Daniel, he twisted things. I didn't know how to stop him. I sat down across from her. So you covered for him. Hid the mistakes. And let me think, what? That I wasn't enough. Tears ran down her cheeks. I didn't know how to tell you. I was ashamed. I thought you'd hate me. I don't know if I can trust you, I whispered. Not yet. Every time I thought I was seeing you, it was a mask. I'm done hiding now, she said, voice low and raw. I can't fix what I did. I can't take back the pain I caused. But I'm telling you the truth. I studied her. This wasn't the Ice Queen CO. This was the woman I loved, broken and scared, admitting her mistakes for the first time. Why now? I asked. Why come to me after everything? Because I can't handle this alone, she said. Not the company, not Daniel's betrayal, not losing you. You deserve the truth, and maybe I still deserve a chance to show it. I shook my head slowly. I don't even know who you are anymore. Part of me wants to forgive, part of me wants to shut the door. I don't blame you, she whispered, voice almost inaudible. I don't expect you to fix this. I had to tell you before I lost what little remains. I leaned back, running my hands through my hair. You shattered me, Arya. Every part of me that loved you, it hurts like hell. I know, she said, tears slipping onto her lap. I know it does. And I hate myself for it. I hate that I made you doubt, that I made you walk away. I stared at her, struggling to reconcile the woman I knew and the one sitting broken before me. I don't know if I can forgive you yet, I said quietly. But I see you now. The real you. Her lips trembled. That's all I ask. Just see me. I see you, I whispered, my voice thick. And I don't know what comes next. But right now, I feel what I felt before all the lies. She nodded slowly, relief and pain mixing on her face. That's all I needed. Just not to be alone in this. I didn't speak. I just let her stay there, letting the silence carry what words couldn't fix. Elena's call came early. Ethan, we have what we need to expose Daniel, she said, urgency in her voice. Exposing him? What about Arya? I asked. She's still tangled in this mess. I don't know if I can watch her get hurt again. You can help without getting hurt, Elena said firmly. She's broken, yes. But you can guide this quietly. I ran a hand through my hair. I don't know if I'm ready. Last time I tried to help, I ended up feeling hollow and angry. This time it's different, Elena said. You have the evidence. You have the upper hand. You're not blind anymore. I sighed. And what if she blames me? Or worse, what if I fail her? You won't fail, Elena said softly. But the choice is yours. Step in or step back. Just know the clock is ticking. I looked at the folder she'd sent me. Every page, every signature, every manipulated number screamed Daniel's guilt. And Arya, she had risked everything for him. Part of me still wanted to protect her, even if I shouldn't. I called her. Arya, are you awake? Yes, she whispered. Why are you calling so early? I have something. It's about Daniel. I think it's time we end this. There was a pause. Ethan, I don't want you dragged into this, she said softly. I know, I said. But I can't stand by and watch him destroy everything while you suffer alone. I'm going to handle this. With you or without you. I don't know what to say, she admitted. I'm scared, Ethan. I don't know if I can face him. Or the board. Or the truth. You can, I said firmly. And you won't have to do it alone. I can't fix everything for you, but I can make sure he doesn't hurt you, or the company, anymore. Her voice trembled. Ethan, why? After everything? Why would you still care? I swallowed hard. Because I love you, Arya. But I also know I need to protect myself. I won't let anyone, not even Daniel, drag me, or you, into chaos. I'll be careful. I promise. I don't know if I deserve this, she said, whisper breaking. You don't have to think about deserving, I said. Right now, focus on surviving. I'll take care of Daniel. The rest, we'll figure it out. She stayed silent for a moment, then said quietly, Thank you, Ethan. I'm scared, but I'm glad you're here. Always, I said, even as my chest ached. But remember, this is my choice, my hell too. I'll do it, but I won't lose myself in the process. I understand, she whispered. And, thank you for not letting me face this alone. I hung up, gripping the phone tightly. My stomach churned with anxiety and resolve. I wasn't just fighting Daniel. I was walking a path that could break me, or finally let me take control. I whispered to myself, this is my choice, and my hell. The office was quiet when I arrived, but the tension was thick. The board was already seated, whispering, papers spread across the table. Arya's chair sat empty for a moment before she entered, looking exhausted but defiant. I stepped beside her. Ready? I asked quietly. I have to be, she said, voice tight. But I'm terrified, Ethan. Good, I whispered. Fear keeps you sharp. Don't let him win by hiding behind your confidence. The door opened and Daniel walked in, smirking as always. Well, if it isn't the husband, he said, voice dripping mockery. Daniel, I said, keeping my tone calm. We need to talk. All of this stops now. Arya's eyes flicked to me, grateful. Ethan, she whispered. Daniel leaned back. Or what? You're going to fire me? You've got nothing on me. She's been covering for me. I held up the file Maya had given me. Everything. Every signature, every manipulation. Every mistake you made, documented. And every time she protected you, you used it to your advantage. The room went silent. Board members exchanged glances. Daniel's smirk faltered. You can't prove that. I leaned forward. I can. And I will. Your games are over. Arya stepped forward, voice trembling but strong. It's true. I made mistakes. But Daniel, he lied, manipulated, and left me to take the fall. The company, the employees, everything almost collapsed because of him. You're insane. Daniel shouted, voice cracking. I didn't. Enough. I said sharply. The evidence speaks for itself. And the board will decide what happens next. You're done. A board member, older and firm, spoke up. Mr. Daniel, we've reviewed the documents. The discrepancies are serious. Your position here is terminated immediately. Daniel's face turned pale. He stammered, this isn't fair. She did what any responsible person would do, I said. She protected the company while you ran away. And now karma has caught up with you. Daniel's jaw tightened and he stormed out, muttering under his breath. The room fell silent, the weight of the moment pressing on everyone. I turned to Arya. You did it, I said softly. You survived. She looked at me, tears in her eyes. I couldn't have done it without you, she admitted. You believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. I shook my head. I didn't do it for you. I did it because it was right. But seeing him leave like that, it's satisfying. Arya smiled faintly, exhausted. I owe you more than I can ever repay. You owe me nothing, I said quietly. Just take care of yourself from now on. No more secrets, no more lies. She nodded, relief washing over her features. I promise. For the first time in months I felt a weight lift. Daniel was gone. Arya was still standing. And for the first time I realized, sometimes justice doesn't need my hands. Karma handles the rest. I found Arya in the corner office, staring out at the city lights. The aftermath of the board meeting still hung heavy in the air, but the tension between us felt different. Softer, quieter. I didn't expect you to come, she said, voice low. I wanted to, I said. After everything, I needed to know you were okay. She turned, eyes glossy. I am better at least. I can breathe again. But Ethan, her voice trembled. I've hurt you so much. I don't know if you can ever forgive me. I don't know either, I admitted. But I know I'm glad I stayed. I could have walked away and never looked back. But I didn't. And part of me doesn't regret that. Arya swallowed hard. I was scared. Scared of losing control, scared of failing, scared of you. You don't have to be scared anymore, I said, stepping closer. We can't erase the past. But we can choose what comes next. She bit her lip. And what choice do we have left? The choice to try again, I said. Not blindly. Not without caution. But to rebuild, carefully. I don't want to mess this up again, she whispered. You won't, I said. But we'll need honesty. Absolute honesty. No more lies, no more secrets. We can't survive if we fall back into old patterns. She nodded slowly, relief mixed with fear. I can do that. I want to do that. If you'll let me. I'm here, I said quietly. I've seen what happens when I walk away. And I've seen what happens when I step in. I won't leave you now, not while there's a chance to fix this. She let out a shaky breath, reaching out to touch my hand. You don't know how much that means. You've given me a chance I didn't deserve. You deserved it, I said firmly. You made mistakes, yes. But you also fought when it mattered. That counts for something. Her eyes softened, tears brimming. I've missed this, missed us. Even when I was wrong, I felt something I can't explain. I know, I said, gripping her hand gently. I felt it too. That connection doesn't just vanish because of fear or mistakes. It's still here. She leaned closer, voice trembling. Then, we try? Together? Yes, I whispered. Together. But carefully. Step by step. No rushing, no pretending. Just honesty and a chance to heal. She smiled faintly, exhausted but genuine. I can do that. We can do that. I nodded. And whatever happens, whatever else comes our way, I don't regret choosing this. Choosing you. I don't either, she said, tears slipping down her cheeks. Even after everything. I'm glad you stayed. We sat there for a long moment, hands entwined, letting silence speak where words could not. For the first time in months, the fire that had burned through our lives felt quieter, controlled and warm, not destructive. I whispered to myself, this is the choice I never regret. No matter what comes next. The morning sunlight filtered through the curtains, warm and gentle. I watched Arya in the kitchen, her hair pulled back, coffee cup in hand. She looked at peace. Something I hadn't seen in months. You're up early, I said, stepping into the room. I couldn't sleep, she admitted, smiling faintly. Too much on my mind. I wanted to see you before you left for work. You didn't have to, I said, pouring myself a cup. I like seeing you like this. Come. Not the ice queen fighting the world. She chuckled softly. You always notice the little things, don't you? I notice what matters, I said quietly. Like the fact that you're here and not running from me, or yourself. Arya's smile faltered slightly. Ethan. I know it won't be easy. Rebuilding trust, rebuilding us, it'll take time. I know, I said. And I'm ready for that. Step by step, no rushing. No lies. Just honesty. That's all I ask. Honesty, she echoed, nodding. I can do that. I promise. I watched her for a moment. Do you ever think about the past? About what we went through? All the time, she admitted, looking down at her cup. But I also think about what we could be. If we really try. If we really fight together. That's the only thing that matters, I said. Not the mistakes, not the heartbreak, not Daniel. Just us moving forward. Carefully but forward. She took a deep breath. I've spent so long trying to control everything. Trying to be perfect, to hide fear, to protect everyone else. But I forgot. I had to live too. I had to be honest with myself. You've learned, I said softly. And I've learned too. That love isn't about perfection. It's about choosing each other even when it's hard. Even after the fire burns. Her eyes glistened with tears. I choose you, she whispered. Every day if you'll have me. I'll have you, I said without hesitation. Every day, every step. No matter what comes next, we face it together. She smiled, a real warm smile. I like the sound of that. I reached for her hand, feeling the familiar weight of connection, but this time lighter, hopeful. We're not the same people we were, I said. We've been broken, burned, and tested. But we're still here. Together. That's what counts. And it feels good, she said softly. Better than I imagined. Even after everything, I can breathe again. I nodded. Me too. I pulled her into a careful embrace, neither of us rushing, both of us savoring the quiet, the moment, the fact that we'd survived. New beginnings, I whispered. New beginnings, she echoed. And for the first time in a long time, I truly believed it. The fire had burned us, but it hadn't destroyed us. We were standing, together, ready to step forward, carefully, honestly, and stronger than ever. The office was quiet that evening. Papers stacked neatly, the board meeting long over, Daniel gone for good. I sat at my desk thinking about everything, Arya, Maya, Liam, even Elena. Everyone had played a part, but it was time for me to decide what came next. Arya appeared at the doorway holding 2 cups of coffee. You still here? She asked softly. Yeah, I said, trying to process it all. Hard to believe it's finally over. She stepped inside, setting a cup down in front of me. Over, but not forgotten, she said. We can't erase the past, Ethan. But maybe we can live with it. I looked at her, seeing the exhaustion and relief in her eyes. I don't know if I'll ever forget, I admitted. But I can learn to move forward. With or without you. She sat across from me, leaning back. I don't want you to say that. I want you to say with me. Together. I don't expect forgiveness overnight, but... She trailed off, unsure. I can try, I said slowly. But we both have to be honest. No hiding mistakes, no pretending we're perfect. I can do that, she said, voice trembling. I've learned my lessons the hard way. I don't want to lose you again. You won't, I said softly. Not if we both keep choosing this. Step by step. Moment by moment. She let out a shaky laugh. Step by step, sounds like a lifetime project. Maybe, I said, smiling faintly. But it's worth it. You're worth it. The room was silent for a moment, both of us just breathing. Ethan, she said finally, thank you. For staying. For believing. For being you even when I made it impossible. I stayed because I had to, I admitted. Because I still care. Because I couldn't just watch everything we built, everything we were, fall apart without trying. Her eyes softened and she reached across the table, lightly touching my hand. I'll try to be better. To trust. To let go of fear. I know you will, I said quietly. And I'll try to not hold on to anger or pain. To focus on what's ahead instead of what's behind. She nodded, tears glinting in her eyes. It won't be easy. I know that. It won't, I agreed. But nothing worth keeping ever is. We survived fire, betrayal, lies, and we're still here. That counts for something. She smiled through her tears. It counts for everything. I stood and pulled her into a gentle hug, careful not to overwhelm her. She rested her head on my shoulder, and for the first time in months, I felt a sense of peace settle over me. This is our closure, I whispered. Not an ending but a beginning. A chance to live without the shadows of the past. Closure, she echoed. And moving on. I pulled back slightly, looking into her eyes. Together? Together, she said firmly. And in that moment I knew, no matter what storms came next, we had survived the worst. We had faced lies, betrayal, and heartbreak. And finally we were free to move forward.